Your voice, your opinion, your community. Fact TV, free speech protected.
Local news, politics, business, sports, arts, music. Mike and Marty on the beat. Mike and Marty. Mike and Marty on the beat.
Good morning, Bells Falls, and welcome to the feed. Here we are, it's Mike and Marty. Today we're with Kathleen and Deb. We're going to be talking about some events going on in town and things coming up. Seems like things are starting to perk around town.
Things are starting to percolate and just come back to life. I think, spring, and we're 2 years kind of sort of, not really past COVID, but used to COVID. And yeah, it's nice to see.
We're endemic now as opposed to pandemic. That's the new word.
That's the buzzword.
Yeah, that's the buzzword. It means that it's never going away. And you just need
I think I like the other one better.
Deal with it, and that's
There
it.
was a thought that there was going to be an ending.
That's right. So, local events.
Local events. So we have a lot going on, and Deb and Kathleen are going to talk about a lot of stuff too. There isn't technically a classic movie tonight at the Opera House. Tonight is actually a movie that is sponsored by the Compass School, and it was produced by the Sandglass Theater of Putney, and it's called Babylon, Journey of Refugees. It's a movie that was produced to kind of bring awareness to the challenges that refugees face coming into our community. And we recently have had an influx of Afghan refugees into the community, and they're facing all of the challenges that you would see in this movie. There'll be a panel discussion after the movie. It's going to be the theater producers and some local members of CASP, which is the organization, one of the organizations that has helped with bringing refugees in. And all of this is free. And it starts tonight at 7, and it's at Ballast Falls Opera House. Ballast Falls Opera House is up in holding live performances again. And in the end of this month, we have Into the Woods coming. Produced another theatrical production by David Stern. In conjunction with Wild Goose Players and Next Stage. Tickets are available on the Opera House website, and the performances will be April 22nd, 23rd, and 24th, and then the following weekend, the 29th and 30th, and May 1st. And I would definitely, I've walked into the theater when the door's been open and seen the set that they're building, and again, it's just magical how they can transform the Opera House, and it's hidden behind during movie time. It's hidden behind the screen, so you can't see it. This Friday night or this Friday afternoon? No, it's actually tonight, 6 p.m. at the Flatiron Cooperative, which has been doing an amazing amount of things. They've had open mic night. They had jazz afternoon. I guess it was open mic afternoon and jazz afternoon. They're actually doing a reading. So that's Eileen Charbonneau and Bill Lockwood, both local authors. They've created a little theater company called the Terrace Players, and they're going to be reading excerpts from the books that they've written, and they'll have some help from some other local community members. So that is 6 o'clock this Friday evening at the Flatiron. And I think that rounds out my local events.
Then my local event is this Friday also. From 5 to 7 at Canal Street Gallery, Spalding Dunbar, who we all know as Emmett Dunbar, is starting a show of his photography and poetry. He pairs his photos with poems, and you can see them at the gallery. A lot of them have to do with India and his travels with India. Something I'd never realized is he was actually spent a great deal of time in India. His family is from India, and the poems and everything else reflect that. The show, he hung the show this week, and it'll open on Friday. We're going to we've done an interview show with him that will be showing on Fact probably next week.
Nice.
But now we'd like to go to our guests, Kathleen and Deb, and talk a little bit about the Rotary and the Chamber and what's happening coming up in Bellows Falls here in the spring, because it's, like I said, things are really starting to
Things are
pop.
blooming.
Yes. So Deb, do you want to go ahead, or I mean, Kathleen, I thought we,
Sure. Well, thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Always a pleasure to be here, especially now that it's not so early in the morning. That makes it even more pleasurable.
Good.
That's true. Last time you
because
guys
we're
came, it was
slightly
early.
awake. Rotary has continued to meet through all of the pandemic times. We met online, we met in person, we met via Zoom. But some of the traditional things that we've done, such as the penny sale and the spaghetti dinner, didn't happen for a while. And so we wanted to change things up a little bit, and we reached out to Kim Bovell, who was the ever popular owner of the Shona Grill, and she so kindly agreed to do a Shona Grill night for us. So
that's
everyone is going to be able to get together and have a little taste of some of their Shona.
There it is, the
There's
Shona
the
burger.
delicious burger, the Shona burger, the delicious French fries, and the popular maple mayo. So
That's great.
Kim is just such a fun person.
She is.
She's rallied some of her, Emily, I believe, and some of her staff members to help out. So it's going to be a fun night.
so where is it going to be?
It's going to be at the Legion,
Uh-huh.
which is a great spot. It's so centrally located, easy for people to get to.
Yeah.
You can just come in, you can order what you like, you can eat it there if you like, but everything will be in to-go containers, so you can also take it home with
Oh,
you.
that's great.
And it's on Thursday, April 28th. Oh, no,
Nope.
that's the wrong one.
It will be, it's a busy
Come
week
on
that
now.
week.
I know, so that's
That
the
is
weekend. It's on a Saturday, right?
April 30th. We'll be
Saturday,
starting
April 30th.
fairly early, I think around 5 o'clock.
Uh-huh. So should people like think about calling ahead or being there early? Because I know I've been to one or two of these and they are packed.
They are busy.
They're great.
I believe the ladies are just going to be making food as quick as they can, so
Oh,
I
okay.
think you can just,
You can just
order-
show up and
you
then
can just show up.
things
Yeah,
will be fine.
I think so. I think that we had that, I can't remember, did we have that discussion with Kim about ordering online? And I think we came to the conclusion that in reality, it's just as easy for people to just get there
Yeah,
early, get in line, and
there
then
will be
go
lots
through.
of seating, so you can enjoy a soft drink or some sort of drink from the bar at
Sure,
the
yeah.
Legion while you're waiting, and have a chance to catch up with people, which is really
Right, that was
nice.
the other big thing. So it'll be like being at Shona Grill again on a Friday night and
Yes.
having a drink and having a burger and fries, and that'll be fantastic.
Yeah, I think it'll be a great community event, and also just reminding everybody that anytime there's any Rotary community event and any money that we raise goes right back into the community.
Definitely. We'll be working on scholarships
Mhm.
are coming up soon, and then lots of local projects. We're helping Central School out with their gardening program, which is really fun
Yeah.
this year. And they're going to be doing cooking classes with the kids, so it's kind of a farm to table. Lots more of the food is cooked locally now, from local farms, not a lot of the pre-packaged frozen things, so they're gonna be working with the second graders on little cooking segments. They're going to be putting in some raised bed gardens, so
Nice.
one of our
Nice.
kind of mini projects that we'll be
Exactly.
involved in this year.
Yeah, and maybe I should have introduced you first as the president, instead of just saying Kathleen, I should have said the president of the Bellows Falls Rotary, Kathleen Gavatsky, and the
And the
upcoming,
future president.
the upcoming president.
Only 2 months and a certain amount of days to
Yeah.
go.
Not that she's
Until-
counting or anything.
But also the Rotary has just been really active in this, even though COVID has put a damper on sort of what you have been able to do as far as meeting and getting together. I know that all the projects that were going on to beautify the downtown and lights and everything else, Rotary was just a mainstream contributor to all of those projects. And I know sometimes your light is under a basket. I think you need to be able to say that you guys are really out there.
It's a very motivated group.
Mm-hmm.
The club has changed a lot. I think it was primarily social club that like to get together and have breakfast and, be together every week. But in some senses, it kind of repeated the same things every year. So when COVID came, there was that chance to step back, I think, and maybe reinvent a little bit. Do you feel that, Marty?
I do, and I think there's been, before there was a big emphasis on raising money and then using the money to like divvy out to other organizations that needed money for projects. And we still do a lot of that. We still contribute to Our Place and Parks Place. But I think that the general feeling of the club is we want to be more hands-on. And so that's where a lot of the projects have come, is that we really do more, I think, sweat equity than just funding. I mean, sometimes there's funding of the projects as well, but there's a lot more hands-on in being in the community. And some of that was just the nature of the need that arose after the pandemic.
Right.
And Kathleen organized a couple of, I guess you'd call them like mini, group meetings where different entities could come and they could let us know what their needs list were, and then we would kind of went through and figured out, within our budget, what could we fund, and I think we did it. I mean, I know the local fundraising letter just went out this week, and we also that was also another big shift, as opposed to always reaching out for prizes or reaching out for sponsorship during events. We just did a one letter out to the local businesses, and you can sponsor at this level, then we're not going to hit you again for a prize for this or something for that. And I think as a business person, that's way easier. Way easier on your budget. I think it is too, but it's also
more, I guess, it adapts to this current situation that we're talking about. You can't get together for a penny sale right now. I mean, it would be, I don't know, people could even come.
The penny sale, we needed to collect 300 prizes. That was a lot of begging.
That was a lot of organizing too.
Yeah,
Rainey Laware.
Rainey was a big
Rainey's big thing.
Rainey Laware was the penny sale superhero for
yes,
sure.
Yes, for many years. Okay, so
speaking of superheroes.
Speaking, that was a good segue.
We love that.
Man, you guys
nice.
should be on TV. So tell us about superheroes and the community. Who wants to talk about that?
Well, the chamber has been affected by the COVID as well. We haven't had a lot of activities during COVID, of course, and this year we are going to have our annual dinner again. It's not going to be a dinner per se. We're going to have appetizers with desserts and small plates of probably sliders and maybe
mac and cheese bar.
Yes. And
it will be hard for me to not talk about the food.
I know. Well, it does sound delicious. We've got a good array of wonderful restaurants or in the area donating some nice entree, or not entrees, I guess, but desserts and food, some types of food. So we're changing it up. In the past, we had auctions that seemed to be a little draggy. So we're having our dinner on April 28th, which coincides with National Superhero Day. So that became our theme, to honor the superheroes in our community. So that's what our focus is going to be on for this chamber event.
And where is it going to be?
At the Bellows Falls Country Club.
Nice.
And so traditionally, you had like one person of the year, and this year you're looking to honor more than just one. You're looking to have a lot of local superheroes, community superheroes.
Yes.
How did people apply? Or is there still time for people to nominate
Like
someone?
you nominate people.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
You can go online to our website, which www.gfrcc.org, or you can come to the chamber office and get a form. You can find it on our website, on Facebook as well, or you can call up and I can walk you through it at the chamber.
Last resort.
Yeah, but
Have you got a lot of applications so far?
we could use some more, so feel free to nominate folks, and we don't serve just Bellows Falls. We serve across the river in New Hampshire, North Walpole, Charlestown, the small little hamlets as well. So, and Westminster, Putney, Rockingham, Sackens River, so and Grafton.
Great.
Anyone from those areas.
So it's going to be at the country club. Everybody will have room to be there,
Hopefully
and plus
in or
spread
out.
in or
Yes,
out.
if it would.
Because by that
Yes.
time it should be spring.
Right,
Spring should
we're
be
hoping, yeah.
full blown by that time. That should be great.
We're
So you might be
hoping.
able to be outside.
So we're kind of changing it up. So before we had the appetizers, and then we had the big sit-down dinner, and then we had coffee and dessert, and the people, and the auction. So we're going to just have some nice background music. We'll have little stations with beautiful food kind of all around the room. So people they can eat their dessert first if they like.
Uh-huh.
They can
Oh, nice.
have their cheese and crackers first, you know. And Bill Stevens has so kindly said he will be our MC.
Oh, nice.
So he always keeps us laughing and keeps things moving along. So I think that will be really nice. And there's just so many people that have quietly done so much in the community. So why honor just one? Let's
Right. I like that idea.
take a chance to, you know, thank people for all that they do.
Mhm.
A couple
So-
people come to mind right off, and I'm sure there are many others that quietly do so much.
That's great. So how will there be like little tributes? Is that the idea, scattered through the evening, or will it be like one big thing?
I think we have to talk that over with Bill and see how we will, you know, how we will do that. You know, maybe we'll have one or two people do the presentations. But I think in the past, sometimes we kind of read aloud the whole letter, and you know, they're very sweet, but it can be a bit long. So we'll try to see how to
That's what I'm asking.
how to make it
Because
fun.
it sounds like you're coming up with a brand new format that's going to be like, I don't want to say spicy, but it's gonna move around. It's not going to be like you said, there was a formula before that you ate and you did this, and then there was an auction, and this sounds like it's going to
And
be
by the end of
brand
the
new.
evening, people would be a little
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Not
snoozy.
not in a rude way, but you know,
No,
it
it
was,
just-
it was,
yeah.
you
for
know,
a
it was a
Thursday
longer.
night. Yes.
Yeah.
And also, I think that in the past, so you'd go and you'd have the cocktail time, but then because you sponsored a table, so then you sat at your table. So usually if you sponsored a table, you sat with your company or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
So then once
exactly.
that little cocktail hour is over, you were sitting with your table. And it sounds like now it'll just be a continuing mingling
Mix
of,
and mingle.
you know, mix. So, which
Yeah.
is nice, because it's been.
I think so too. Because
A 2-year concentrated mingle.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. A
No,
lot of
but
time to
it-
catch
I
up
mean,
on.
that's
right.
more fun, to be honest.
That's what we're hoping.
Yeah.
It was so interesting because the Flatiron had the grilled cheese social night.
Uh-huh.
And so, you know, when you go out to eat a lot, you sit at your table, people might come by and wave, but this was really an event where everybody chatted with each other and did really get together, and it was just really nice to see people in a social situation where
Exactly.
you weren't kind of in your little corner. So I think it'll be fun.
And you lobbed us one again, Kathleen. Speaking of the Flatiron and social events at the Flatiron, we actually have a Rotary, are we calling it a Rotary mixer, a Rotary social?
Kind of a Rotary social.
Yeah, and remind me of the date.
It's coming up in June.
Okay.
So we have a little time yet.
Yeah.
Could be a
we're-
whole nother Fact TV segment.
Yeah. I
That's
thought I'd
good.
Put
That's
that out
good.
there,
That's
but.
great.
that we-
Because, you know, I think Marty and I have talked a little bit about this over the last several weeks, is that people are starting to come together and wanting to be social again, and they're starved for that sort of social contact. And I think this is an ideal way of doing it, is like mixing is much better, because I guess in the before COVID days, there were chamber mixers, and there were the times that people came together and did just sort of that mixing and socializing thing. But those events have been rare for the
It
last
seemed like
2 years.
it seemed like it was a long time ago.
Yeah, so it'd be
know,
nice
yeah.
to get
2
back.
years.
And
but-
I think Rotary, for me personally, has been kind of a support system through all of this, because I think a lot of people don't actually know what Rotary is, but it was a group of people who were committed to supporting each other and doing good in the community. and the larger global community. So it feels, and it's a very positive group. So where you heard so many negative things about the election and COVID, and you don't hear that at Rotary. It's very non-political. It's very a supportive group. So
That's great.
it's nice.
Yeah.
So
From a
if people
past
wanted
Rotarian.
to, yes, I'm very proud of my Rotary time. But for people that would want to join Rotary, how would they do that? Because it is a supportive group and it does do positive in the. So what would you recommend?
Either go to our Facebook page or come to a meeting. Everyone is welcome to join us for a meeting. We are back meeting in person at the Waypoint Center. We meet every Thursday at 7:30 a.m. in the morning. You don't need to come to every meeting.
Yeah.
So I think as Marty is moving into the presidency, we talked about, maybe there will be one special meeting a month that's like a business meeting. So,
Right.
Some work meetings. There are some members that have a hard time coming in the morning, but they join us for some of the other projects that we do. So, yeah.
That's right. And what is
So come to a meeting, come check
Yes.
it out.
What is the motto of Rotary?
Service above self.
So there you go. So I would recommend that people check it out. I mean, like Kathleen says, it is an established social network that helps people in the community and in the world. And you can, if you join in Bellows Falls, you can go to a meeting in New Delhi.
You can.
Yeah, it's an amazing organization, and I hope
And
people.
it's moving. The pandemic forced Rotary to move move forward a bit and loosen some things. Like it used to be, people might remember this. It used to be you had to go to meetings, and if you missed a meeting, you had to make up a meeting by going to a meeting somewhere else. If you had, you had to pay like penalty money if you missed meetings and all
it was
these things, and
was
they've
a lot of-
loosened a lot of those restrictions. They've realized that the world is different now. People's ability to maybe leave their jobs for an hour every single Thursday morning is not an option. We've looked in, we've done Zoom meetings. We're looking to do hybrid meetings. So COVID forced a lot of things to change quickly and pivot, which, for good or for bad, I think moving forward, it's going to be positive. So, yeah, that was
There
just...
was that good thing about, a January day, 20 degrees, snowing.
Exactly, you didn't
Hop
have to
on
leave
the
your
Zoom
house, yeah.
with your
Yeah,
good
yeah.
shirt on and your sweatpants.
Exactly.
Excellent.
So we're down to about 2 minutes.
Okay.
So Deb, I know you're always looking for volunteers. You're always looking for help. How do people because speaking of Rotary and people joining Rotary, but even if people can't make that commitment, but they could help with like a one-off event, what would be the best way for them to reach out to you?
They can, again, email me at the chamber, call, stop into the Waypoint Center. I'm usually there.
I think there's a
But-
volunteer page on Facebook too
Yep.
that you can sign up
Okay.
for.
Yeah, I mean, one of my biggest advocates for volunteerism has been the Rotary. They've helped me more. That's been the biggest group that's been supportive for
Because you're
the chamber.
you're a one-person
Yeah.
show. You're the chief cook, bottle washer, and toilet cleaner.
Yep.
So it's tough. It's tough when you have a big event, and I'm assuming you're going to plan to have a few more.
Yes, we
You're gonna try
are.
to do we'll just give you
Yeah.
a hint, like old home days and that type of stuff again
Yep.
this year. So just be thinking about it. If you're looking to get involved, come to the great way to find out what's going to be happening, or just meet.
We're
Everybody
having
is
a volunteer day, May 14th, at the
Yeah.
Oh,
Waypoint
good.
Center
Yeah.
between
That's a good thing. Then.
BIFTA and the chamber. So and the Rotary's going to be there as well. So it'll be a
Serving
good day.
coffee and pastries.
Yes.
That's wonderful. That's
Yeah.
great.
That's our job too. We've
Yes.
decided that our job is to provide a warm beverage. Thank you, Heidi Lorenzo.
One of
Yeah.
our
It's sort of
members,
like a
yeah,
shelter
she's
thing, yeah.
obsessed with
It is
that.
totally to provide a warm beverage, because that's a comforting thing, right?
Exactly.
So yeah, that was
That's
a big.
wonderful,
That was
yeah.
a big. That's a like the service above self. Provide a warm beverage. That's
And
our
with
little
me, it's
addendum.
food.
Exactly. So
Okay, I think we're just about out of time. I want to thank you guys for coming
Yeah,
on.
thanks.
I hope you'll come on again. Maybe give us some feedback on the May 14th, because volunteerism in Bellows Falls, I think, is growing, and I think it's a very healthy change. All right,
Yes.
well, that's it for this
Thank you.
week.
Thank you
We'll
for
see you
having
next-
us.
yes.
Bye.
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 Local news, politics, business, sports, arts, music. Mike and Marty.